Let me start the recording once again. I'm taking it to SPRO once again. Let's try to complete the material master configuration today. I think yesterday we were setting up our own material type, GMRO. I think that's what we have tried to creating. Okay, so let me go to material master once again and see what has been done. Under basic settings, we were discussing about attributes of material types. We have defined our own material type, that is GMRO. Okay, so I think we have completed this part, isn't it? And then we went into, okay, we are about to create, or we are about to work with special transactions or special create transactions based on the material types. Okay, so that is, you see, for example, if you want to create a material master, what do? You go with /o mm01. So with this way, you can see here in the material master initial screen, that is creation screen, you can choose the industry sector, be it manufacturing or mechanical engineering industry. You can choose your material type, isn't it? You can choose your material type, something like this. For example, if I have to create a raw material, okay, listen carefully. If I have to create a raw material, I have to choose raw material type as raw material, which I don't require, isn't it? Okay, if I have to create a raw material, I need not have to specify that, I'm going to create a raw material. My basic intention is to create a raw material. So therefore, I need not have to say raw material. Similarly, if I have to create a semi-finished material, I need not have to say semi-finished here. There are certain special transaction codes. If you use them, you need not have to specify which material type are you going to create it. Now, look at here. /o means open in a new session. Transaction code MMR1. I wanted to create raw material only. If I go and hit enter, now you see, do you see similarities between this and this screen? Can you see my screen? You see here, one is MMR1, the other transaction is MM01. Do you see any similarities here? Let me just refresh the screen also. Yeah? Do you see any similarities?
Yeah, there is no this middle type is not there.
Exactly. The create special transaction codes, okay, here, let me just type it as create special transactions. Okay, create special transactions. Under this, I am going to use I would say x1, right? So here x is a variable. What is x? It could be r, right? I would say x could be r, okay, raw material. X may be, okay, let me put it here itself. X could be R, raw material. Let me type it this way. X could be R, raw material, or it could be S, semi-finished material. Okay, or it could be F, which is finished. Okay, so something like this. So that means what? If I am going to use MMR1, stands for create raw material. Okay, if I am going to use MMS1, that is nothing but create semi-finished material. If I am going to use MMF1, it's going to be create finished material. right? How will the system know that if I'm going to use MMR1, it should always create raw material? If I'm going with MMF1, how will the system know that I'm going to create a finished material? The control is here. Okay, under here you see there is something called assign material types to special create transactions, right? So here you are assigning a material type to the transaction code, so that way when you are using that transaction you need not have to specify the material type. Okay, go ahead like this, go into assign material types. You could see here literally you are not actually assigning a material type to the transaction code, but you are assigning a material type to the group. That group is nothing but the variable that I have specified here, x. Okay, now you could see here B, HALB, semi-finished material. I'm sorry, it's not yes, it is B. Semi-finished is B. F is finished, G is RTP, returnable transport packaging, H is HAWA, trading goods, I is high, operating supplies, KMAT materials, MT is non-stock, so on and so forth. For example, if you see here, do you see anywhere R, raw material? Now, let's say I wanted MMR1 should be maintained for what you call our own material type, maintenance, repair and operation kind of materials. So what I will be doing, I will be simply replacing this one, or you see here I can create my own. Okay, do you have M here? I don't think so, right? M is not there. Let's say, you see here, I'll copy this one. I'll make it as M, and here I specify my own material type. What is that? GMR. Enter. You see here M is not there, so therefore it needs to be defined first, right? So here you could see M is not there. So M is not there, so therefore you have to define it. You have to define M first. Where should I define? Transaction group, example individual MRP, maintenance. This is not there. So if I go into this, you see here this is table T130M. This is the table. In the pool table, you have to maintain it. Okay, let me just go and do it here. Continue without specifying the project. It's taking time. Let me stop if I am using any other applications. No, it's not there. Okay, you see here material master assigns screen sequence to user, material type, so on and so forth. You just double click it here, the first one. I think it has taken close this. Give me a moment. I'll have to close this. It's not going that way. So one sec. I'll just go back. Basically, I have to create this group. Okay, so this group, where do you create? You create it here. Assign screen sequence. It's here. Okay, so here you create your own screen sequence. One sec. It's taking screen reference 01. Just give me a moment. I can even go with the material, what to call the table also. Okay, it's basically v underscore 134k. Okay, so what I can do is /o sm30. Okay, so this is view. I can just go and okay. Lakshmi, are you in the call? Lakshmi, can you hear me? I think she is there. I think this is the kind of the message that you would have seen yesterday, because you see I am already in this screen. I am already in this particular table. I am again trying to look at or accessing this table, so that's the reason you are getting that error, right? So therefore, in such cases, what you can do is you have to wait for some time, or you have to kill the session of other person so that it will allow you to go with it. Okay, so this is the one which I thought of creating one. So let me just go and find out the table. T130 is something I have seen. T130M. I'm going to create a new entry into this table T130 SM30. Okay, so T130 is the table. It's incomplete. I'll just go to this place. I'll just double click it, assign screen sequence to user, material type, transaction and industry sector. You see here it has taken me to this place. So wherein okay, I have to define my own okay, so why is it taking me to here? R1 transaction screen reference. It's all screen reference 01. User screen I don't require it. Material type screen ROH. It's still ROH. Mine is GMRO. This is again ROH. Industry casting engineering. Okay. So the group is not allowing me here. So I have to group the material type. Let me check it. I'm not seeing the group here, but I can go ahead and still create it like this. You can see it here. Once you are into the material type, we are here material type to special create transactions. So what am I trying to do is I'm trying to create my own group, which is not allowing me right now. I will just find it out and give it to you tomorrow. Give me some time today. But instead of creating my own group, let's say here for this R, I can assign my own material type which I have created, that is ZMRO. You see here, if I go with ZMRO and save it, that means what? For the MMR1 transaction, if I go and try to create a material, it's the maintenance and repairs kind of, this one, slash and MMR1. If I go with it, the screen that you see, let's say, industry sector manufacturing. Now if you go and try to create a material, the one that you see is, okay, so let me enter something over here. This is maintenance and repairs and operations. Okay, so this material belongs to maintenance, repairs and operations kind of material. It's no more ROH. Let's say like this, enter, something like this, enter, enter. Oops. Right, so this is how you can work with it. I'll try to find out how to create a group and assign that group to our ZMRO. Okay, give me some time today. I will find it out. But otherwise, these are the standard groups for which you can assign the material type. Therefore, when you are using special create transaction MMR1, it's the maintenance and repairs and operations kind of material which is going to be created. Right? Next one, you see here, define number ranges for each material type. So far, we are trying to create a material, right, like this MM01. I'm trying to create a material of maintenance, repairs and operations. You see here, if I go and create a material, now you see this number is being picked up, 2401188. Now I wanted to have my own material number ranges. Right, so you can do this configuration. Number ranges configurations can be done for each of the material type, document type, vendors. There are not many objects. Any object in SAP system is recognized by the number, the document type, document category. So here, because you are setting up the material numbers, right, the material numbers are based on the material type. So how do I configure the material numbers? You see it here. I go into this node, and the number range concept is same everywhere. Okay, so you need not have to follow different sequences or scenarios. When you are setting up number range for a material or for a vendor or for a purchase order or for a contract, or it could be anything, goods receipt document, it could be anything. You will have only these three tabs. You have got something called groups. So setting up number range, let me write it here. Setting up number range, right? So I would say process steps. So process steps are, the first thing, you have to create or insert a number range group. Okay, then number 2, assign number range to the group. The third one is assign that number range, you can say group or object, to the material type, right? So this is how you will configure the number range. Now I am back in the number range configuration. What did I say? First thing is you have to create or insert your own group. For that, you have to change the groups, or you can maintain with groups. Either you click it here or you go to this group, maintain. Either going with group and maintain or going simply with this insert group, anything is fine. Okay, so when you are here, look at here once again. Now go with insert group. So I'm going to insert my own group here. Say here Nissan group, something like that I will be specifying. Right, so I'm defining my own group called Nissan group. For this group, I'm going to assign a number range. While assigning number range, you see here assign number range to the group. While assigning it, ensure that the numbers or the number range that you select should not be overlapping with the existing number ranges. Okay, existing number ranges. Okay, so now how do I know? You see here there are not many numbers already available in the existing number ranges. So you have to choose a number range which is not overlapping with the existing number ranges. For that, I have a technique. You keep the cursor in the intervals, that is from number. When you go with this search help, it will give you only the numbers which are available. It means other than these numbers which are already in use, so you cannot choose. So now assume it, let's say my number range should start with this 140301. Okay, now I don't want to block all the numbers for me, so therefore I can take only, let's say at max I assume I will create maybe not more than 100 numbers. Okay, or I would say 599. Okay, I am expected to create only around 200 or 300 materials as part of this class. So I am setting up between 100003001 to 140599. Hit enter. If this number range is not overlapping with the existing ones, then only system will allow you to create this number. Now you see here it has accepted. It means what? This number is not overlapping. Okay, you look for somewhere your Nissan group is there here. You save it first. Okay, one more thing, number range configurations are non-transportable configurations. So therefore you need not have to save them under transport request. Now you see here Nissan group, this is your number range. Now what you should do, you should bring or you should make relation between your number range group with the material types for which you are going to create the materials. Now look for the material types which you wanted to create. You see here, is this my material? ZMRO, isn't it? ZMRO is my material. This is my material. I wanted this number material type to be assigned to my Nissan group. How do I do that? First of all, you have to select the object. Here object means material type. You select this and then highlight it. Select means not simply clicking on this one. You have to click it here, select element. Either you can click it here or you simply double click it so that the object color will be changed into blue like this. Like your S01 or any, what is this? Arabindu, like this. The color gets changed to light blue. Look at here, I'm just double clicking it. Now the color got changed. It means this object is selected. Now under which number range group you wanted to pull this GMRO. Select that group. I wanted GMRO to be made available under Nissan group. So you select Nissan group. Then you pull GMRO under Nissan group. How? You just have to click it here, this tab, assignment of element and group. Now you see here, it has brought under Nissan group. Like this, whatever materials you wanted to, or whatever material types you wanted to bring under Nissan group, you now double click them. ROH. I wanted ROH. Then I wanted semi-finished HALB. Come on. What's happening? Let me find it out. HAL, just select it. Similarly, FERT. See, I have selected three: FERT, HALB, and ROH. Now, if I go and click on element assignment group, now if you could look at it, your Nissan group contains all these four. Then you save it. Now you go and create your material and see if the number that you have used, MM01, okay. Now you see here, I'm going to create a material. Basic data 1 to purchasing, hit enter, 77C. Now you see, is this the number range that you have just created? Yes or no? I'm not.
Yes, Venkat.
Yeah. This is how you should configure it. I request you all to please, respond to my questions. Otherwise, I would not be knowing whether you are following or not. So I'm expecting responses for the questions that I might ask you in the class. Okay. So this is how you configure the number range. Right. One more thing, like I said, I'll just keep a note here. Number range configurations are non-transportable. Interview question. Okay, and hence they are called soft configurations. Okay. That's the reason when I saved it, it did not ask me transport request number. What do you mean by soft configurations? You have to configure the same thing in the test system and in the live system also, right? And also one more thing, if you say in interview that you know how to configure number range, you will not be given any credit. But if you say that you do not know how to set up number range, then whatever other things that you might be knowing, people will say, come on boss, you don't know how to set up number range, what else can you do it? It's such a a stupid thing. So number range, you need to do it for each of the objects. So therefore, it's a basic thing that you are expected to learn, you are expected to perform. Right? Any questions in it? Shall I move on to the next node?
Just repeat, sir.
Okay. What do you want me to repeat, sir? But entire process or lekapothe meekem kavali?
This bit just power off వచ్చింది.
Power off వచ్చింది. Okay. So the number range setup is something like this. You have to define your own group to which you will be assigning a number range which should not be overlapping with the existing number ranges. Then once you have the number range group, you will be assigning that group, or you will be assigning all your material types which require same number range into that group. That's how you configure the number ranges. Number range configurations are non-transportable, therefore they are called as soft configurations. That means once number range configured, the same number range, you have to do the same configuration again in the test system and in the live system, so on and so forth, with all the systems in the landscape. Okay, now let's move on to the next one, that is define attributes of system messages. Okay, here while creating a material master, you might be seeing lot of messages, isn't it? You see here, I am entering some text here, unit of measure I am entering, material group I am entering, hit enter, hit enter. Now you see here, purchasing group I am entering this. Okay, now purchasing value key, right? Now you see, once I enter purchasing value key here, I have received a message. This is informative message. Okay, you double click this message. What is it says? Check the data for the purchasing value key. It says, by entering a purchasing value key, entries were made in the reminder field and tolerance field automatically. If the values are incorrect, you must choose another purchasing value key. This is the description of the error. Sorry, description of the message. What is the message number? It is this one. M3128 is the message number. Each message is having two parts. The first part is application area. Second part is number itself, message number itself. So if you look at here, the highlighted portion message number, the first two characters are part of application area, and this is the actual message number. 128 is the actual message number. Where is it coming from? This is what I am going to show you now. Under display messages, okay, under here, define attributes of system messages. What does mean by you are going to define attributes, that is properties of the system generated messages. Okay, what are the attributes of system messages? What do you mean by attribute? What type of message it is? That is called attribute of the system message. Messages. Now let me just go with define attributes of system messages. What do you mean by attribute? Attributes are nothing but type of message. Okay, what are those types? What are those types? I've got something called warning. Okay, I've got something called information. Then I've got something called error. Okay, and then I've got one more thing that is called append. Okay, but of course this is obsolete. This type of attribute or message is obsolete. These are various types of messages. As you know, warning. What do you mean by warning? A warning is a message which happens when a certain condition is evaluated in the application, which might be a potential error, need not be an error, which might be a potential error if you go ahead with, the warning message. An information is an informative message which is just for information. So both warning and information, system will not stop you from moving further. Whereas error is a condition which is evaluated in the application, but since the evaluation is failed, therefore system stops you from moving further. Whereas append is something like an error message, but allows you to move further. this is no more being used. So I would say this is not at all in use right now. Let me see. How do I strike it off? Does anybody know how to strike off this one?
Go to format.
Format?
Format cells.
I don't think it is available here. Will it be?
Yeah, in the,
Hmm.
Format.
in the
Format.
format itself, you can.
Sorry?
In the format, you can get it.
ఇక్కడ లేదు కదా సార్ ఫార్మాట్
Format itself
I clicked it, it's not going.
come
Hmm.
Alignment. Font.
under font.
Strike through.
Right. So
Thank you. Okay, so this is no more being used, so therefore you need not have to worry about it. Right? Now, coming back to this message, M3128 is my message number. How to see this number? How to read this number? Where is it coming from? You see here, define attributes of system messages. Let's go into this. Now, you see here 00, version is 00. You just type it here. Application area or simply application area. M3 is nothing but material master. Or else if you want to see, you can just go through it. What is M3? It's not specified here, but it's basically a material master. Then what is that number? 128. Check the data consistency. What is this the message? 1 second. 128. Check the data for purchasing value key. 128. Now you see, this is a warning message. This is the record, isn't it? So check the data for the purchasing value key. W. W stands for warning. If you do not want this message to appear, you can just go and suppress it. There is no message. These are called attributes. Error, warning, information, and of course no message. So it's just a warning message, so it's the standard one, so you can keep it. Now let me show you this one. There is also one more thing which you see here, with price control S and the standard price, this is maintained as a warning. Ideally this should be an error message. I'll just show you here. Let me continue with this one. Similarly, look at here. Where is this? This one. Is this the one? Yeah. Enter. Fill in required field. What is this? Look at here. Message number 0005. You have attempted to update the data or start an action. However, not all required information was specified. Right? So these are all messages. Now there is also one more transaction where you could see how to define the messages. Transaction code SE91. Okay. Now M3 I said is an application area. Right? In case if I have to create my own message class, I can, see here, I can create it as something called Venkat and then create, so that it gets a message class will be created. Object can only be created in SAP package. That's okay, right? So you see here, you have to specify the package name and then you type Venkat, something like that. This is not your transaction code, so you need not have to worry. ABAPS will create messages. You see here, it's getting created. If I go with save, it gets created. But obviously I don't want to create it. I just wanted to show you how to read data from message classes, right? So now M3 is my message class, which is nothing but application area. What is your message number? 128. When you go with the display, you should see here. Now look at here. This message class M3 has got how many entries? 909 entries. each message class can have maximum of up to 999 entries, right? You see here, all these messages are thrown from this one only. Okay, you could see here material so and so is locked by the user so and so. For example, if I am going with change mode, if I am changing some material rear wheel tire, that's what we have created. If I am in MM02, I am using a rear wheel tire. If somebody wanted to make change or make modifications for the same material, this is the message which you are going to be seen, right? So this is how you should read your messages. Now look at here, what is that 128? This is your message. Check data for the purchasing value key. If you go into long text, you would see the description. This is the one that you are seeing, isn't it? So in case if you want to see the attributes, okay, you can just go and have a look at it. You see here, short text M6 is meant for material master. Okay, it's maintained in the logon language, original language, which is DE, person responsible SAP. It means this is an SAP predefined message. Okay, now so like this you can just go ahead and make the things. If you want me to make this as an error, I can simply make it as an error. You see here, if I make this as an error, save it, although it is not actually speaking an error message. Brunda saved changes, this is not mine. What is mine? Nissan changes is mine. Now look at here, is this the one that I am creating? Yes, I am. Okay, something like this if I give, it will allow me to move further because I am already in this one. Now you see I am going to create a new material once again. Okay, so now if you go with this one, because you have made that message as an error message, system will not allow you to move further. Okay, purchasing group here. Now you see, okay, you can get it like this. Ideally, okay, so ideally what happens is, well, as soon as you enter here, you need not have to worry about this. Okay, so let me make this again back to and just go back. So where did I maintain? I think here, change system messages. So I'll just keep it as something like this, save it. You see here, I'm making this as with price controller entered standard price. I'll just show you by creating one material with warning message, and then afterwards I'll create it as an error message. Have a look at this. /n MM01. I'm going to choose a semi-finished material. Okay, say semi-finished material. Basic data 1, 2, purchasing. Okay, general plan data, accounting, so on and so forth. Okay, let's say something like a piston rod. Base unit of measure is each. Okay, I'm choosing some material group, purchasing value, purchasing group, this one, GL processing time 1. I did not specify any purchasing group, but I can just go back and maintain purchasing group as well. Okay, valuation class. So let me choose some valuation class. Now you see with standard price control, yes, you see here I am supposed to enter standard price, but Now you see, with price control S, enter standard price. This is just a warning message. You know where is it going from? It's actually coming from here. If I make this as the E, that is error, it would have been an error message, isn't it? So now if I go and execute, system is allowing me to save it. Let's say if I go with say yes, it gets saved. It means what you see here, it is allowing me to move further. Now I don't want the system to allow me further. What should I do? You just go and make this as error. You save it. Right? Now you go back and recreate the material. Basic data 1, 2, purchasing, general plan data, accounting. Okay. So once again, you go ahead and create the material. Right? Something like this. You enter valuation class here. Okay. Now I'm hitting enter. Now you see, this has become error. I get you my point. So this is how you should work with. So with standard price control, yes, enter the standard price. Now the condition is getting evaluated. Unless you enter price, system will not allow you to move further. So once I enter the standard price, oh my god, I think I've lost the power once again. Shit. Pavitra, I've lost the power in my house and I think 11 power పోతున్నట్లుంది. So I don't know. Maybe we should start by 9:30. ఒకసారి వాళ్ళందరికీ చెప్తారండి. In case if you're all available, I'll take it in the evening. Yeah, మీకు ప్రాబ్లం లేకపోతే. Because today being Saturday, if you're all available, I can have class today evening and tomorrow morning also. మీరు ఒకసారి వాళ్ళందరినీ కనుక్కుని కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్ అప్డేట్ మీ. ఈరోజు ఈవినింగ్ వాళ్ళకి క్లాస్ కావాలంటే ఏ టైం కావాలి. నెక్స్ట్ టుమారో మార్నింగ్ విల్ యూ బి అవైలబుల్ బై 8 o'clock. అడగండి ఒకసారి. ఒకవేళ మీరందరూ కనుక అవైలబిలిటీలో ఉంటే ఐ విల్ టేక్ ద క్లాస్. రైట్ అండి, కొంచెం అందరికి చెప్పండి. ఇన్ కేస్ మీరు నాకు ఫోన్ చేయకపోయినా మెయిల్ పెట్టినా చాలు. రైట్, థ్యాంక్ యూ.